And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Flying weather for Friday morning. Solid IFR here for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Up along the southwest coast here, through the Bering Strait, and up and off the Arctic coast there. Maybe the central coast might pick up a little bit of low clouds and fog there for some IFR at times, possibly. North slope looking good. Marginal VFR, Brooks Range, back to VFR till you get down to the Alaska Range. Southern Alaska here, marginal VFR with areas of IFR, especially Prince William Sound. And on into the Gulf of Alaska, VFR for the southeast coast. Afternoon, stays VFR here for the Panhandle, but low clouds making their way onto the coastline there. And so marginal VFR there up into Prince William Sound and areas of south central Alaska, improving from the morning. Might see some VFR here for Cook Inlet, maybe. And Kodiak Island marginal. Interior, mostly VFR. And no change up along the Arctic coast there in the North Slope. And out over the Bering Sea. IFR pulling back to the west a little bit, but still covering the remainder of the Bering Sea down to the Aleutians. And for the Saturday morning time, pulls back to the coastline there a little bit here, especially along across Nunivak Island up to St. Lawrence Island, covering all of the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, south coast of the Alaska Peninsula. Areas of marginal VFR here, southern Alaska, interior VFR, North Slope VFR, and again, no change for the Arctic coast. And IFR now showing up very close, but staying hopefully off the coast of the Panhandle there. With some marginal VFR maybe for Port Alexander, Mount Edgecombe, Sitka, and those areas with VFR holding over the inside waters. And then whatever gets into the inner channels there will burn off, and by the afternoon, just maybe some marginal VFR right along the central and south coast. VFR, interior Alaska, so definitely improving here, even all the way down to Prince William Sound, North Gulf Coast, up to the North Slope VFR, and IFR out over the Bering Sea. Again, just IFR out here. Aleutian, same thing, south side of the Alaska Peninsula. Better conditions on the Bristol Bay side there. And for passes, Anatuvik and Adigan, marginal tomorrow. Marginal VFR for Lake Clark and Merrill, rainy. Marginal VFR, windy VFR. Isabel VFR, and for Mentasta, VFR. Marginal for Tanita, marginal for Portage, VFR for Chilkoot and White, probably for the next couple of days. And the freezing levels here, upper level high pressure, warm air aloft, 14,000 feet will be about where 32 degrees occurs over Yakutat tomorrow morning, and 12,000 feet all the way up into the Northwest Territories. Upper trough through here, 6,000 feet, southwest coast, Alaska Peninsula. And for icing, light to isolated moderate rime icing mostly. Could be a little bit of mixed possibly, but be here in the western part of the state from the Alaska Peninsula up to the western Arctic coast. Jet stream, sharp trough here at 33,000 feet, centered over the Seward Peninsula, extending south-southeastward there across Kodiak Island. South to north flow, pretty strong here, up to 110, 115 knots right through the central interior. 9,000 feet south-southwest to north-northeast here, 30 to 45 knots. A little bit farther to the east, pretty good southerlies here across the eastern interior now. West 40, 30 to 40 over the southern Bering Sea. 3,000 feet west to southwest, 30 knots around this low here. Light and variable over the interior. And then northwesterlies 25, mostly off the southeast coast. And for turbulence, with those winds, could be some light to isolated moderate turbulence, especially for small aircraft here along the central and south coast of the Panhandle. And then up over the southeast interior areas as well, up to the eastern Alaska Range, where they have those wind advisories out tonight into tomorrow, and for the western Alaska Peninsula and the eastern Aleutians.